Hello, good morning, everyone. Today is Monday morning and it's raining outside. So, this is our day one for our week 27 of our Maritime English lesson. Today, I'm your teacher, Shelly. So, we will be discussing about safety. Why again safety? From our week 25th, day 1 and day 2, we discussed about safety also for the different vocabulary words used on board for everyone, of course. Now, for today, we will be discussing different safety measures actually. This one is all about safety on board, but this is for emergency cases. All right. So for today, this is very important. All right. So let's move to yes. Okay. This is SMC piece. I don't know if everyone already encountered about this. Okay? During your training, basic training, okay? So, what do you mean by SMC piece? Okay. S is standard. M for marine. C for communication, and P for phrases. So, the meaning of SMC piece is standard, marine, communication, phrases. Okay. So, when we say phrases, these are set or group of words. Alright. So, this one is a standardized set or group of words which was developed by the International Maritime Organization or IMO. For sure, everyone heard these words. IMO, International Maritime Organization. Now, this SMCPs is designed, all right, to improve the safety at sea. Of course, by making sure to have a clear, okay, a precise, exact communication. Okay, now, these SMCPs are very important. It's crucial for preventing misunderstandings, meaning to have a clear communication with each other, especially, okay, between your vessel wherein you are on board and the shore stations or across different nationalities. Why? For example, no, You are, example, a Japanese nationality. Okay. You are traveling near the near Korea. Okay. Now, of course, Koreans have different language, right? So, how are you going to have a clear, a precise, okay, words to use if you are a Japanese, since yeah, you are using a Japanese language. Now, the IMO, or the International Maritime Organization, developed a standard set of words, okay, for everyone worldwide to understand the words that you are sending to the shore stations or to between vessels of different nationalities. Okay? So because simply if you're a Korean and if you're a Japanese on the other side, how are you going to communicate? How are you going to understand with each other since you both have different languages? Okay? That is why IMO developed these words. Okay? So, uh, these words, example, used during distress or emergency cases, these are Mayday. One, we have Pan Pan. And the third, we have security. All right. So these three words have different uses. Okay? How are we going to understand distress? How urgent it is? And how are we going to have safety? Okay. So why are SMCPs important? Okay. On the picture, we have here the bridge. Okay. We have here a radio. And this is the frequency or the sound waves. Okay. Now, this one are the ones used in sending a distress call. Here, of course, in the bridge. Okay. So as I said, what are SMCPs? This is the meaning of SMCPs. Standard Marine Communication Phrases. These are group of words. So, for example, if this is your location or position, once you call a distress order, this is how it happens. There's a map lines connecting to other ships sometimes or to shore stations, okay? But it symbolizes international communication, okay? All right. So, why is it important? This safety marine communication phrases, this set of words. Why? Of course, number one, safety. That is the aim. That is the purpose. the main purpose of SMCPs is the safety. Okay? During critical situations. Alright. When we say efficiency, this one, efficiency, this is how fast, okay, the communication or the call between, okay, the vessel you are on board or who is doing the call to another vessel or to the shore stations, okay, how fast, okay, that's what efficiency means. Now, for the international standard, this is what I am saying. International standard, meaning there should be no language barriers among seafarers worldwide. Even if you are a Filipino, even if you are a Japanese, a Chinese, or Koreans, or any other nationals, okay, there should be no language barriers among seafarers worldwide. Okay? Now, SMCPs are often mandated by the international conventions. Example, your SOLAS. Okay? SOLAS, the safety of life at sea. Okay? SMCPs are mandated by the International Convention. Okay? Is it clear? SMCPs was not just developed by a single person. Okay? It was developed by a group of persons, international, basing on their international maritime rule. Okay? Now, next. There are three main categories of SMCPs. Okay? The very first one is Mayday. Okay. Mayday is a distress order. The life or the vessel in grave, okay, and imminent danger. When you say imminent, there is about to happen, okay, there is about to happen, like the danger, whether it is the life of the crew or the vessel itself. Okay? Like, for example, sinking ship. Okay? You have to call right away, Mayday. Alright. Next, Panpan. When you say Panpan, the urgency. Okay? Meaning, there's a serious situation. But not immediately life-threatening situation. Okay? There's an urgency also, but not life-threatening situation. Example, like you have a broken engine. Okay? So since you have this situation, but there's no life threatening involved. So, you can just call a pan-pan order. Okay? Now, for the third category, we have security. Security, meaning safety measures. Okay? Safety measures. This is important during navigation. Okay? Or meteorological warnings. These are warning signs. Like, for example, you can see the lighthouse and it's blinking, meaning you have to take precautionary measures. You have to understand why the lighthouse is blinking. The light is blinking. Okay? Okay. So these are the three categories that I mentioned earlier. You will call a mayday if there is a danger in sinking ship, or there is a life on board that is in danger. Okay? Now, for the panpan, this is an engine. Okay? And there is a smoke. So, meaning there is something wrong with the engine. Or maybe it's broken. Alright. So here, there is no life-threatening involvement. So if that is the case, although it is important, you still call for help by using pan-pan. Okay? There is urgency also. But if there is no life-threatening involvement, you just call for pan-pan. Okay. This one is the lighthouse. This is what I mentioned also earlier. Okay. This one is what we call security. If you happen to see a lighthouse that the light is blinking, you have to know what is happening there. Okay? Again. Next. Yes. Understanding urgency levels. Of course, for number one, if there's life-threatening involvement and there is an emergency with regards to the vessel, like sinking of the vessel, you have to call for mayday. Okay, for help. And it represents a red color. That is your first choice of call. If there is life-threatening, if the vessel is sinking, okay, it indicates that the vessel needs an immediate help. Okay. If you are calling for a pan-pan, yellow in color, and For the security, it's green. Now, this 3 is critical to use. Okay, you have to use the correct call to make sure that you will receive an appropriate response from the other vessel or from the shore stations, okay? Or whoever, wherever receives your call first. Okay? Mayday, Panpan, security. Now, the misuse of these 3, okay, of course can lead to confusion. No? And also, there will be a delayed response. Okay, if you happen to misuse this 3. Or, of course, there will be an unnecessary deployment of rescue. Okay? So, you have to use these 3 properly. And you have to understand the level of urgency situation on board. Okay, so of course, number 1 is Mayday. Second is Panpan. Third is the security. Okay. Yes. Here, this is an example of a distress call. The highest priority distress signal. Mayday. Again, the highest priority distress signal. Okay. Here, it indicates that this is a life raft and there are persons here which is of course in danger or is in grave. And if these people, this crew, are not rescued right away, there will be something worse will happen. And of course, this crew requires immediate response or assistance. Okay? Because there might be an imminent danger or there might be about to happen. Danger will happen to them if not rescued right away. Okay? So, the helicopter is the rescue team. The lifeboat is being approached by the helicopter, of course, to rescue them. All right? So, when are we going to use Mayday? Okay. I already mentioned earlier one example, the sinking of the ship. So number 1 is that the sinking of the ship. Next is if there's fire on board, you will call for Mayday. If there is fire on board, there's an uncontrolled blaze. Okay, of course, threatening the vessel. If this is the situation, you have to call a Mayday. Okay, there is sinking, as mentioned earlier, capsizing. There's a water taking on already on the vessel rapidly. As you can see, the swell is the sea is rough. Okay, it's unstable. You have to call mayday. And this one, collision. Okay, accident, collision. Of course, you can see a significant damage from the impact, right? You can see it. Okay? Once you see or once this happened, call for mayday. Okay? Because you can say, okay, you can say that there is a serious medical emergency needed here. In this situation, of course, we all know that there's a life-threatening injury happening already. Okay? That requires immediate evacuation or treatment. Or maybe there is a man overboard here or on the other side. So, of course, since there is fire, there is collision, okay? There's an immediate danger. So, basically, the initial reaction of the crew is to jump, okay, in the water. So, the risk of drowning is very, what do you call this? Is very clear in that situation, no? So, what if the water is very cold? You are, the accident happened in the cold area or country. So, the most possible is hypothermia. There's hypothermia, meaning the body heat dropped already. So, the very important thing is you call for a mayday. Okay? Now, for example here, okay? Uh, there's a possibility that the vessel will be disabled here due to rough seas. So, you will have a difficulty or sometimes you can unable to maneuver. Okay? And there's a big chance of capsizing. So, call for a mayday. Okay. Now, here, in these situations, okay, it's really severe. You can clearly see here that you need an immediate intervention or you need an immediate help from others. Of course, number one is to prevent loss of life or the vessel, of course. Okay? Now, if there's any doubt, okay, if you're not sure about the severity, okay, severity, of course, it's safer to err on the side of caution. And of course, you call for a mayday. Alright? If you are doubtful, you can call. Okay? Now, when calling a mayday, there are patterns. How? Okay. Example, there is simple words used. You can think of it like the name you use to talk to a ship over the radio. Yeah, that's it. The simple words. The simple words you use, okay, in talking to a ship over a radio to another ship. Okay. Those are samples. How? Okay. In every vessel or in every ship, there is a unique combination of letters assigned to each. Okay? Sometimes it's numbers, sometimes it's letters, or sometimes it's mixed, no? Uh, it's like our driver's license, okay? That we all have our own numbers, okay? To identify each and every one of us. Okay, it's just like the vessel. In the vessel, there is a ship. Excuse, radio license. Each ship. A letters, a numbers, or a mix of it. Okay, ship radio license. Now, also, the Mayday call is primarily used for voice communication. Just a call, just like what we are doing with our cell phone. Okay, but they are using VHF radio. Okay, that helps differentiate vessels. Okay? Now, sometimes, especially, they use that because some have similar names. But it indicates only in order for each vessel to be identified is through their country of registration. Okay. Now, we have MMSI. What is that stands for? The Maritime Mobile Service Identity. MMSI. These are, think of MMSI, you think of like the ship's unique phone number, but for digital communication. Okay. This MMSI is a unique 9-digit number that is assigned to each vessel. Okay? Used for digital communication equipment only. Okay. Like the digital selective calling, the DSC radio. We also have what we call the AIS, or the automatic identification system. Okay. Now that 3 MMSI, this digital communication, you are here sending and receiving distress calls. Okay? You will receive the position where this accident happened. Okay? Position reports. And of course, other messages. That is the purpose of digital communication or the DSC. Now, with the automatic identification or the AIS, the ships here, it is the AIS transponder transmits this number automatically. Okay? Now, allowing other vessels, okay, in the maritime industries, to trace, okay, to identify, okay, where your position is, okay, and in case of distress, the MMSI also helps search, okay, rescue, okay, the location of the vessel. Now, when we say a call sign, that is used for talking, okay, call sign. When we say MMSI, that is for digital communication and tracking or tracing. Okay? Okay. Now, both the call sign and the MMSI are both uh, are both crucial, important, of course, for maritime safety, for the communication and the traffic management, making sure that every vessel can be uniquely identified. Okay? That is like a driver's license. We are all uniquely identified by the government. Like our passports or your Siemens book or your SIRB, everyone has different passport numbers or driver's license numbers or an SIRB numbers to uniquely identified as just like the vessels. Okay? Now, for yes, when to use Mayday. Man overboard, you call for Mayday. Uh, the sinking, almost sinking of the ship. Okay, you call for Mayday. There's fire on board. Okay, okay. Mayday, grave, and imminent danger. Yes, you can clearly see here that the ship or the vessel is already tilting around 30. I'm not so sure, but I think it's 30 degrees already. And this rough seas. Okay? So you can right away say that there's an imminent danger. There is about to happen. There's a danger about to happen here. Call for Mayday. Okay? There is life threatening already in this situation. Okay. Next. There are different procedures on how you are going to prepare for calling Mayday. Okay. One, of course, you have to prepare. Okay, as fast as you can. Okay. You have to switch the VHF radio to channel 16, or that is what they call the distress frequency. This one. Okay? Channel 16, this is the distress frequency. Alright. You switch that on, that VHF radio. Next, you have to speak clearly and calmly. Clearly and calmly. Although it needs an immediate action, you have to stay calm. You have to speak clearly in order for the other line to understand what you are saying. Especially if you are passing or you are talking to a different nationality. Of course, all of us have different accents. Okay? Some are slang. Some can fully pronounce the words clearly. But during Mayday procedure, you have to speak clearly and calmly. Okay? You have to have all necessary information ready. And take note, everyone. You have to know by heart, okay, the details of the vessel. First, in calling a Mayday, you have to know the position. Okay? The nature of distress, meaning what is happening on board. Okay? Why are you calling for a Mayday or help, immediate help? The POB, meaning persons on board. How many of you on board? How many crew on board? Like for example, for a car ship, it's 22 crew. So you have to know that once you are on board, you have to know how many crew are there. That is what POB means, person on board, and other necessary information. Okay? That is the step 1 of the preparation to call for a Mayday. Here, This is the VHF. You switch it to channel 16, wherein that is a distress channel if you need an immediate help. Okay? Next. Step number 2. Making the call. Okay. So this is how you are going to do it. Example, Mayday, Mayday, Mayday. You have to say it 3 times. Mayday, Mayday, Mayday. Okay? Again, Mayday, Mayday, Mayday. Okay? Now, next. This is example, the name of your vessel. Let's say Sea Breeze is the name of the vessel. This is Sea Breeze, Sea Breeze, Sea Breeze. Okay? 3 times. You say the name of the vessel. Again, this is Sea Breeze, Sea Breeze, Sea Breeze. And then, last, this is what I said earlier, the call sign. A mix of numbers or letters or the MMSI. You mention it once. Like, for example, Alpha Bravo Charlie 1 2 3 4. That is an example of a call sign. You mention it once. So again, I will say it directly on how to call a Mayday. Alright, this is how. Mayday, Mayday, Mayday. This is Sea Breeze, Sea Breeze, Sea Breeze. Alpha Bravo Charlie 1 2 3 4. Alright? Is it clear? Okay, everyone? Were you able to follow? Okay? Mayday, Mayday, Mayday. This is Sea Breeze, Sea Breeze, Sea Breeze. Alpha Bravo Charlie 1 2 3 4. Alright? So you kept on repeating that while calling a Mayday. Okay? Alright. This one is very important, the call sign. Okay? This will be given, or this is assigned to each vessel you are on board. So you have to know that in case of emergency. Alright, step number 3, providing information. Alright, how you are going to provide? Let's say you were able to call. Okay, step number 2. So now you are giving information already to the shore stations or to other vessels. Okay, you will mention Mayday, Sea Breeze. My position is, alright, you can say the latitude, the longitude, or the bearing, or the distance from your landmark. Meaning, you will describe, you will say where your exact location is. Okay, you mention everything so that the rescue team can right away go to your position. Okay? And you have to mention, don't forget, the nature of distress. Like for example, since you are calling for a Mayday, meaning there's a life-threatening, there's a need for immediate rescue. Like, we are sinking. We are sinking. There is fire on board. We need a medical emergency. Okay, those are examples of an immediate help. That is what nature of distress means. So, how are you going to provide information? You will say, after saying this, Mayday, 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 this is Seabreeze, 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 Alpha Bravo Charlie, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, the other line will ask your details. This is how you are going to answer again. Mayday, Seabreeze, my position is like this and like this. The nature of distress is we are sinking, or there is a fire on board, or there's a medical emergency. Okay? That is the step 3. Okay? That is the step 3. Now, step 4. Yes, this one is where you are going to get your position. Okay? Now, next. Number 4, or step 4. We have the assistance required and POB, person on board. Okay. What do you need? What's the reason why you are calling for Mayday? You will say, I require immediate assistance. Person on board, how many of you? And any other useful informations. Like you're going to say, we are abandoning the ship. We have 2 injured crew. Okay? Those are useful information so that the other line will know what do you need. What immediate assistance do you need? Because you are calling for a Mayday. Alright? Okay? Next. This one. Okay? Maybe he's asking for help. That's why he's holding the radio. Alright. Yes, how to call a Mayday call. How to make a Mayday call. Alright. Now, I mentioned already earlier the different steps. Okay? The different steps. Step 1, step 2, 3, and 4. Alright. This is an example of a Mayday call. How? Alright. As I mentioned, for step 1, you will call, you will mention it 3 times. Mayday, Mayday, Mayday. This is sailing vessel Seabreeze, Seabreeze, Seabreeze. Call sign Alpha Bravo Charlie, 1, 2, 3, 4. Mayday, Seabreeze. My position is 10 nautical miles west of Cape Town, bearing 270 degrees true. We are on fire in the engine room. Fire is spreading rapidly. We require immediate assistance, firefighting support. Persons on board, 3. Over. Okay? Did you get it right? Did you understand how to call a Mayday? Were you able to say or follow what I said? Okay. Now here, everyone, I know you have a difficulty because these are all English words. That's the reason why we are in a maritime English lesson. But during your training, pre-training, okay, before you go on board, you have different trainings. Alright? Now, this one Mayday call is crucial. Okay? Because we don't know what will happen on board. So, you have to practice these words. Practice saying these words. Because these words were all developed by International Maritime Organization. So we have to know this by heart, meaning wherever you go, whenever you're on board, what country you are traveling, you have to know this. Okay? Before going to bed, in the cabin, you do this. Repeat this over and over. Of course, only the vessel name is different and the call sign. Okay, and of course, the position, it varies, and the nature of your call. And what do you need? How many persons or crew are present? Okay, those are all the things or the words that varies because every vessel have different details. But you have to know everything about this. Okay? Again, I will say it again how to call Mayday. Alright. Mayday, Mayday, Mayday. This is sailing vessel, sea breeze, sea breeze, sea breeze. Call sign Alpha Bravo Charlie 1234. Mayday, sea breeze. My position is 10 nautical miles west of Cape Town, bearing 270 degrees true. We are on fire in the engine room. Fire is spreading rapidly. We require immediate assistance, firefighting support, persons on board, 3. Over. Okay? You repeat this always. Repeat. You keep on pronouncing this. You keep on saying that. Okay? You have to memorize this one. How to make a Mayday call. Because we don't know what will happen on board, what emergency cases we will encounter. Okay? Again, for the last time, I will pronounce how to make a Mayday call. Mayday, Mayday, Mayday. This is sailing vessel Sea Breeze, Sea Breeze, Sea Breeze. Alpha Bravo Charlie 1234. Mayday, Sea Breeze. My position is 10 nautical miles west of Cape Town, bearing 270 degrees true. We are on fire in the engine room. Fire is spreading rapidly. We require immediate assistance, firefighting support, persons on board, 3. Over. Okay? You speak clearly and calmly, although it's an immediate call, in order for the other line to understand you well. Okay? I'm sure you have now an idea how to call for a Mayday. Okay? Please, everyone, memorize this one. Okay? Not Not same vessel, of course, but what vessel you are on board. That is how you are going to pronounce, how to speak, or how to call a mayday. Okay. Now, the digital distress signals. Okay. The DDS. This is, what you call this? This is integrated, no, into a modern VHF or an MF or an HF radios. Okay. That DDS, it allows, of course, a single button press. Of course, to send digital distress alert with, of course, with vessel's identity and position. And it automatically alerts the shore stations here. And of course, the other, the SCE, excuse me, equipped vessels. This one. Okay, one moment. Just for a second. All right. This is an example of a DSC, a digital selective calling. All you have to do is once you press the single button here, it will send, okay, a digital distress alert to the other vessel, okay, and it identify right away your position, okay, okay, this one, the DDS signals. Now, this one is the EPIRB and SART, all right? What is an EPIRB and SART? This is the one. EPIRB is an emergency position indicating radio beacon. Okay, this is SART, the search and rescue transponder. Search and rescue transponder. This one is the SART. This one is the EPIRB. Okay. What is this EPIRB? This is an emergency position indicating radio beacon. This one transmits a signal to satellites. Okay? To alert the rescue coordination centers. This one. It transmits signals to satellites. Of course, to alert them that there is something immediate rescue needed here. Okay? Alerting the rescue coordination centers. This one, the SART, or the Search and Rescue Transponder, it helps the rescue vessels locate a distressed vessel. Okay? Or this one, basically the survival craft. Okay? And this one will appear on the radar of the other vessel. Of course, meaning if they will saw this one and your exact location is here and this will appear in the radar, of course, it's either if they're near to your location, they can rescue you right away. Or they can send it to other shore stations nearby. Okay? So both are very important. All right. Ayan. So, what will happen? No? What will happen after sending Mayday? So, what do you think will happen? All right. So, let's see now. Let's see what will happen. Okay. Here, after sending the Mayday, you have to keep the radio on. Okay? And of course, after sending, you have to monitor the channel 16. Okay? If there's any response, if there's none, you do it again. Okay? And as I said earlier, you have to provide or you have to prepare to provide more informations. The most important there is your position. Okay? So that they will know where to go. And then, after that, you have to activate these both equipment. Okay? You activate. And then you prepare the life raft, of course. Excuse me. Or other survival equipment. And lastly, you have to take all possible measures, no, to mitigate the danger. Like for example, for firefighting, of course, you have to prepare everything. You have to take out all the fire hose and everything to control the immediate action. You have to control the fire aside from, of course, sending Mayday. So those are the actions you have to do after sending the Mayday. You have to keep the radio open and monitor the channel 16. Okay? You have to prepare other informations, and then you have to activate the EPIRB and the SART. Okay? And then you have to prepare the life raft. Of course, you're not going to do that alone. Everyone on board have to do that. You have to prepare the life raft for survive and other survival equipment. And of course, you have to do a first aid measures, possible measures. Like you have to prepare or take out all the firefighting equipment. Okay? Now, here for uh this one, you have to wear the proper safety measures. This one, you do the first aid possible measures, no? If you can put out the fire first using the fire extinguisher, but you have to wear everything, all this. Okay? Now, um, there is what we call canceling a Mayday. Okay, canceling a Mayday. Like for example, you were able to put out the fire. All right? So you have to cancel the Mayday. All right. Here, how or what are the situations? If the distress situation is resolved, okay? If the distress situation is resolved, it is crucial. It is important to cancel the Mayday. Okay? It is very important, of course. You just can't let it uh, hanging, okay, without canceling the situation or the call, I mean. Okay, because the reason why you have to cancel the Mayday call is that to prevent unnecessary excuse me, to prevent unnecessary situations or search and rescue operations. Okay, wait 1 moment, please. I'm sorry. All right. Now, the broadcast on the same frequency, like all stations, all stations, all stations. Excuse me. This is Sea Breeze, Sea Breeze, Sea Breeze. Cancel my distress alert. And then you mention the time and your position. And you have to say it that the situation is now normal. Out. It's just that simple. Okay? Excuse me. Now, this one, canceling the Mayday call, as I said, is very important. So how are you going to do that? This is Sea Breeze, Sea Breeze, Sea Breeze. Cancel my distress alert of 1200 hour. Position is like this. And the situation is now normal. Out. So that the other line or the shore stations or the other vessels will know that the situation is now normal. Okay? Next. So, it's either the situation is now normal and then you'll have to put you have to do this, the thumbs up sign, because the situation is already calm. Okay? So, you have to inform, okay, that you canceled your Mayday call. All right. Next. All right. Here, if there's a situation that you cancel a Mayday, there's also a situation that there's a false Mayday call. Okay. When you say false Mayday call, this is very important also. Okay? Now here, take note, okay, everyone. Sending a false Mayday call is a very serious offense. Okay? Very serious offense. It wastes valuable search and rescue resources and endangers lives. And of course, when you happen to have a false Mayday call, it can result in severe penalties. Okay? Of course, it includes fines and imprisonment. That is a very serious offense. Calling for a false Mayday. Okay? So don't do that. That's the reason why in the area of like the area wherein the radios, they have to put this one. Stop or do not misuse equipment on board. You have to put signage like this. because misusing equipment on board is a serious offense. Please take note of that. Alright? Okay. So, be very careful. Alright. Oh, wow. So, let's go to our Q&A session. The question and answer session. Okay. For number 1. Okay. What is the primary purpose of SMCP? The standard marine communication phrases on a vessel. What is the primary purpose of that? Is it A, B, C, or D? Alright. It's letter D. Yes. You have to ensure clear, unambiguous communication for safety at sea. The standard or the main goal of SMCP is to standardize language in maritime communications to prevent misunderstandings and enhance the safety of everyone. Okay? That is the main purpose of SMCP. Always remember that. Alright. So, for number 2, which of this distress signal indicates an immediate threat to life and requires urgent assistance? A, B, C, or D? Of course, I kept on saying that earlier. It's Mayday. Immediate threat to life. Alright? And requires urgent. Because Mayday is the international distress signal for grave and imminent, meaning there's a danger about to happen to a vessel or to the crew, okay, that needs immediate assistance. All right. So for number 3, what is a unique identification for a vessel? Remember that? I mentioned that earlier. Used in radio communication. Similar to our phone number. Similar to our driver's license. Similar to our passport numbers. Similar to your SIRB numbers. So what is that? A, B, C, or D? Yes, it's the call sign. That is the unique, string of letters, right? And or numbers assigned to each vessel. Yes, for identification during radio transmissions, right? Like for example, the call sign I mentioned earlier, Alpha Bravo Charlie 1 2 3 4. That is just an example. Okay? Some are mixed. Okay? Some are separately uh, identify the letters and the numbers. Each vessel have different call signs. Okay, next. Number 4, we have what does MMSI stand for in maritime communication? Okay, what do you mean by MMSI? Okay, is it A, B, C, or D? It's B. It's Maritime Mobile Service Identity. So what is this MMSI? This is a unique 9-digit number, no? Used to identify the ship, okay, or a coast station, all right, in a digital selective calling, or the DSC, and of course other digital transmissions. Okay, those are 9 uniquely digit numbers assigned, okay, used to identify a ship. All right, so that is what MMSI stands for. All right, for number 5, we have here which system allows a vessel to send a digital distress alert with position information to shore stations and other vessels. So what is that? Is it A, B, C, or D? It's A, of course. So, which system allows a vessel, okay, to send a digital distress? Digital distress, remember? Okay, the single button only. Once you press it, it will what? It will send to different shore stations or other vessels about your position. Okay, there. So the digital selective calling, that is what we call the DSC. That is a key, of course, and this is a key component of the GMDSS. Do you know what that GMDSS? And then it enables automated transmission, okay, of distress alerts. And of course, other calls using digital signals. Okay? That's what a system used, okay, to send digital distress alert. All right, for number 6. So, what is the primary function? Yes, of an EPIRB, the emergency position indicating radio beacon. Is it A, B, C, or D for number 6? Okay, what is the correct answer here? Yes, of course. Letter B, to provide a short-range communication between vessels. Okay? All right. No, I'm sorry. This is letter C. I'm sorry for that. Okay? I'm sorry for that. This is wrong. It's letter C. Okay? It's to transmit a distress signal to satellites pinpointing the vessel's location. It's letter C. Okay? I'm sorry. I will edit this one. Okay? So, this is letter C. Now, to transmit the distress signal. Now, this EPIRB, remember, this is designed to transmit a signal to satellites. All right, can you still recall? Then, which then relay the distress alert, okay, and then your location to to rescue coordination centers. All right. Okay, that is the F here. Okay, I'm sorry for this, everyone. Okay, the correct answer here is for letter C. And then we have here number 7. When activated, all right, an F here transmits a signal that is detected by which system? Oh, for what system is that? Is it A, B, C, or D? Of course, it's the COSPAS SARSAT satellite system. Okay? By the name itself, satellite, all right? Isn't it? That appear, okay, transmit signal. Okay. That is detected by a satellite. This COSPAS SARSAT system. Okay? That is the correct answer for number 7. Okay, next. For number 8. So, what is the primary function of a SART? Okay. Isn't it I showed you earlier what is a SART means? So SART is a search and rescue transponder. All right. So what is the primary function of this? Is it A, B, C, or D? Okay, it's of course letter B. To appear as a series of dots, okay, or arcs on a rescuing vessel's radar display. So here, once SART is activated, okay, isn't it? It emits, okay, it sends a signal, right? Uh, that appears as a distinct pattern of dots, okay, or arcs. Maybe on a 3, excuse me, maybe on a 3 centimeters radar, okay? 3 centimeters radar display to guide the rescuers for them to to rescue the survivors. Okay? That's why this is very important for the location or in locating the the survivors. Okay? So next for number 9. Okay. An activated SART is typically detected by which type of radar? Yes, what type of radar? Is it A, B, C, or D? So, earlier we have this, excuse me, we have this the appear, right? It is typically detected by what system? Isn't it, it's the satellite system, the COSPARSAT. Okay. Now here, what type of radar? Okay, for the SART, it's of course the X-band radar because SART is operated on the 9 gigahertz, okay, X-band. That's the frequency, okay? And the band used by most ships, this one, X-band. And sometimes other aircrafts, no, for the search and rescue, they use that one. Okay? Now, next for the number 10. All right. What is the critical difference in function? Alright. For the EPIRB and the SART, what is the critical difference in function? Is it A, B, C, or D? Alright. Here, the correct answer is letter C. Alright. An EPIRB provides initial distress. Alright. While the SART aids in pinpointing the exact location for rescue. Okay? EPIRBs. The EPIRBs send initial alert. Okay? And position globally via satellite. Okay? While SART is designed, okay, to be detected by radar. Alright? Okay. Helping the rescuers home in on the survivors once they are in the vicinity or in the position. So that is the difference between the EPIRB and the SART. Okay, now, oh, we're done. Okay. So, about all what we have discussed earlier, okay, um, it's I know everything discussed today is very important. Okay, all okay. Those lessons discussed today. Okay, always bear it in mind that those steps, those categories are important, of course, for your daily lives on board. Okay, because we cannot say or we cannot tell what will happen on board. So basically, all you have to do is to put it in mind. You have to uh, put it in your heart. What is safety all about? All right, because one, of course, for your own safety. Second, for the safety of the ship. Third, the safety of the other crew, of course, and the vessel. Okay? You have to know everything, all about the safety on board. I know before going on board, you have lots of trainings done, right? So I know very well that this part that we discussed about the safety is uh, was given emphasis. Okay, that's why we are again now repeating about the safety measures and that mayday call, how to call for a mayday, how to do it step by step, how to say it, how to cancel it, and most of all, you have to um, seriously put it in your heart that misusing the Mayday call is crucial, right? Because it's a serious matter, all right? And there is a fine on it, and there's an imprisonment involved once you misuse the Mayday call. Okay? And there's Panpan and there's security. Alright? So, all what we have learned this morning are all really important. Okay? Once it's all about the safety. Alright. So for now, for today, we end up here, and then on Wednesday, or for our day 2, we have to continue. I have to discuss separately about the second category, which is the pan-pan, and the third, which is the security. All right, and there's also a short quiz. All right, for that. So for now, I'll say goodbye to everyone, and I'll see you all on Wednesday. All right, for our 27th day 2 lesson. Okay, bye everyone. Hope you all have a good day. Bye.